This is more than likely going to be the final video talking about movies from Video Brinquedo and Sparkplug Entertainment. As far as Captivating Christian goes, I've only talked about Video Brinquedo a handful of times, probably twice, 3 times counting this video, but I've talked about basically every movie from Sparkplug Entertainment, and I feel like now we should be finally moving on from what these companies have to offer. And hey, we're getting them both out in one video, so that's definitely a good sign. And it's interesting because back in 2020, the first film from Sparkplug that I ever looked at was Plan B, and now we're looking at a movie about bees made by Video Brinquedo. So it feels like we're going full circle. So for such a momentous occasion, we're going to be starting with the Sparkplug Entertainment film first. We're going to be talking about A Car's Life. Not to be confused with their very first film they ever made, An Ant's Life. This is A Car's Life. So Car's Life begins in the desert as we see a father and son car driving through on a road that doesn't have any dividing lines. The son is our title character, Sparky, a dirty little red sports car who wants to live for thrills. We know this because he gets around his father and goes flying after he hits a pothole. Yeah, pretty sure that doesn't happen when you hit potholes, but okay. Once he lands, his dad scolds him for living so recklessly.
Sparky! When are you gonna grow up?
I am grown up.
No, you're not.
Well, I'm not a baby, and I'm not you.
No, 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 no.
I wish I could be.
Sparky, stop. This is not a musical.
Oh, thank you, Lord above. I gotta say, the father is probably my favorite character in this entire film so far. Sparky, being the rebellious child he is, speeds off in the opposite direction of where they were going. And then we get 2 minutes of him doing tricks as he burns rubber through the desert, like swerving through cactuses and such. A police car pulls them over and gives them a ticket for speeding. Well, he gives the dad a ticket, but Sparky just gets a light warning. And apparently some cars have these robotic hands that give each other things. Well, it's almost like having a concept of living cars that can't handle things without hands is a ridiculous concept. Well, you know, except when VeggieTales does it, it's totally fine because, you know, VeggieTales was good.
$100! This ticket is your fault, and you're paying for it.
Not the whole thing, I'll pay half.
Fine.
As they leave, the dad decides a good way to teach some sense to Sparky is by showing him the remains of his cousin Piston, with a lone headstone and hubcap in the middle of the desert. It's here where we start to establish the film's villain, Diesel, who is allegedly the one behind Piston's demise.
Of course, if Diesel had reported it when your cousin first went missing, things might have turned out differently.
Piston's wife, Diesel?
Piston's girlfriend, Diesel. I never figured out what your cousin saw in that old bucket of bolts. Uh-oh, it's getting late. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning!
Oh no. These are gonna be the characters we're gonna have to follow for the rest of the movie, aren't we?
Good morning, Gracie.
Good morning, Sparky. You're so funny.
Good morning, Gracie.
Sparky, shut up!
Daddy almost said shut up.
No, Daddy almost said... Shut the door!
This movie is dumb. You know, you might want to reconsider things if you really think Sparky is fit to take over running a business like your gas station when he's older. Anywho, Sparky gets cleaned off in the car wash and it seems they have a customer, a Hummer played by a bad Joan Rivers impersonator.
I'm not paying for high octane, so don't even start.
She lets them know that her gas was siphoned by things called gas leeches. This will be more important later. For now, here's some bad comedy as an obnoxious pink car called Speedy accidentally wipes her windshield with motor oil and the Hummer angrily spins around in a circle. By the way, this goes on for another minute, and they constantly reuse the same shots over and over because they're lazy.
Oh no! First robbed, then blinded, what a day!
What? How is she not able to see? Her eyes are on her headlights, not her windshield. This makes no sense. After that just kind of happens, Sparky meets that Diesel they were talking about earlier, and she's a green Jeep with a lit cigarette that she's holding with a windshield wiper. So you know she's bad because she smokes. She wastes no time corrupting young Sparky by convincing him to go to a place called Auto Swag.
It really hurts. Oh!
A few moments of pain for a lifetime of gain, mon amigo.
And then he comes home looking like this. Oh, now I get it. This is supposed to be a metaphor for getting a tattoo at a young age. I see what they're doing. Well, you see, my opinion on tattoos is as follows. I personally think that...
Go ahead and yell.
I want to yell. I'm furious. But I'm also scared. Sparky, your recklessness is going to lead to serious trouble someday.
Dad, I need to find my own road. I make mistakes, but...
After his father grounds him, Diesel convinces Sparky to sneak out and go see the big blockbuster movie Hot Rod Heaven at the local drive-in.
Oh, Lance! Go, go, go! Big history! Ah!
Even though Sparky is bored with the movie, he's jolted awake once he sees those gas leech things they mentioned earlier, trying to steal some of his gas. He chases after them, Speedy just kinda sits there and doesn't do anything important, and Sparky passes out in the middle of the desert. The next morning, he's towed home by that police car because this world doesn't have tow trucks like Lugnut from that other talking car movie.
You went to the movies? You're grounded.
But I really wanted to go and...
Fine. You know what? From now on, just ignore me. Do whatever you want. You don't need a dad.
I don't need a dad who butts in like a backseat driver. I need to find my own road.
Diesel convinces Sparky to go to a place called the Badlands, where there are no roads and no rules, and apparently they have some big racing federation there as well. Yeah, that makes sense. A big racing event in a place with no laws. It sounds like a war zone or some lefty hippie commune, if you ask me.
Sparky, set your parking brake or I'm telling your father. Norby! You can't. Fire! Fire!
No, sadly no. I really wish it ended that way, but no. Because Sparky is not very smart, he and Speedy listen to Diesel and head to these Badlands, and it seems the dad is open to this idea. Considering these two are annoying and wastes of space, I would happily wish them warm regards as they both head to their demises as well.
Where are you guys off to?
Road trip! Yeah, we'll be back soon.
Well, stay in your lane and obey the speed limit.
They make it to these Badlands and drive around as fast as they want in any and every direction. Soon enough, Sparky realizes that they should probably slow down.
There are no rules in the Badlands, remember? But there are consequences if we make a bad decision. Consequences? Bad decision? Now you sound like your dad! Well, maybe a few more laps.
Norbert, you all right?
Sparky?
Sparky and Speedy meet Diesel out there, and she plants a couple of boots on them, leaving them immobilized. Their gas gets siphoned by the gas leeches, and Diesel brings out her henchman, Igor, a pickup truck with a chopper arm. All the while, Speedy does not shut her face hole.
Diesel is up to no good.
That's unfair! Why is the world so judgmental about free-thinking, quirky cars? Especially females!
Oh, hell yeah, you call out that patriarchy sympathizer, down with misogyny and all that. I don't know about you, but I really think we should be getting Sparky hashtag canceled on Twitter. I really think we should get that going right now. Because as a male ally, I am extremely offended by this blatant misogyny, okay? Look at how progressive and woke I am.
Speedy!
But before Sparky can get smashed into pieces, his dad, the gas pump, and the police car show up, lobbing a rocket launcher at them, which doesn't blow up Diesel. No, it just knocks her over, because that's how those work, right?
Speedy! Speedy?
Huh? What? What?
Aww, I thought she was done for! And to think, this movie gave me such hope that that character was not going to make it. So Sparky learns his lesson about listening to your elders, and his dad was just trying to make sure he was okay. But then his dad shows Sparky a decal he has under his hood, and even a trophy that he won when he was younger. You are sending a lot of mixed messages with that one, car father. And so the credits roll as all the characters drive around back to the main road. So, that was certainly a movie, but hey, at the very least, at least it's over now, right? Wait, I forgot there's another movie we have to talk about. Little Bee. We have to move on to the other animated Bee movie ripoff. Pretending to be outraged. So Little Bee begins with our main character, Beanard, who is set up to be a soldier, but what he really wants to do is be a worker bee and make honey. Well, first minute into the movie, and they're not wasting any time.
I gotta make honey. I'm good at it, and I'm not gonna stop until the whole world knows how good. As for being a soldier, I'm too little. I'm useless to them. But here, with all these flowers, I got a special nectar for each of them.
And now, an extended scene showing off how the bees are given their positions once they're young, which is why Beanard is not happy with his chosen profession of soldier. But he's not alone, as this one bee girl called B.U.T. wants to be a soldier instead of a worker bee. A little girl bee becoming a soldier instead of staying in the hive and making honey? What is this? The woke feminist agenda?
Yeah, that's right. Fight the system, sister. Show that even little animated girl bees can be part of the military-industrial complex, too. Slay queen. Again, look how progressive and woke I am. Look at me.
Notice me, please. Other positions include drone bees that don't seem to do anything, and princess bees who grow up to become the next queen. Pretty sure that's not how a monarchy works, but don't quote me on that.
Gosh, being a princess sure sounds nice. If I was a princess, I would have a huge party and invite the whole hive to celebrate. And since everybody would be there, naturally the prince would be too. And we would dance and be filled with happiness. Then he'd give me a big ring, we'd be married and live happily ever after.
Next scene, we see Beanard failing at his soldier training, which consists of stinging a bullseye target. So their primary weapon is their stingers, like you'd probably come to expect. He tries to get transferred over to being a worker bee to make honey, but his superior tells him that there's no chance he'll ever be transferred.
I'm sorry, Commander. I didn't mean to be disrespectful. What you do is amazingly brave, but some of us aren't soldiers.
All of you other soldiers are dismissed. But you're not getting off that easy. I think we better run some drills. Sharpen your stinger, son, because you're gonna need it.
And then these drone bees put Beanard down for being the beta male he is. It certainly doesn't help when B.U.T. comes in and one-ups him in front of everyone. But things look up for both of them since they both want the same thing. Both want to switch their chosen professions. So they make a deal that Beanard will let B.U.T. use the training grounds, and B.U.T. will let Beanard cook in the kitchen that she studies in.
Hello, Chef. How's your cooking going, sir?
Magnifique! It's the best batch yet!
Oh my, look at that. A stereotypical French character. I can't believe it. I wonder if a certain someone is going to be offended by this. Huh. This is usually the part where Frederic, the French narrator, pops up to say that he's offended by the French stereotypes.
Meh, I don't know about you, but even I think that this bit has gone on way too long, mon ami.
Wow, what a tough guy. Maybe he should be a chef.
Don't let him get to you, Beanard. That drone's got nothing better to do than to be a jerk.
What are you doing here, son? You want to march?
I don't want to march. I want to watch.
I didn't think so. You're not soldier material. So turn your tail around and buzz off!
While this one princess bee meets with the queen and begins talking diplomatically about her ideas to improve the beehive.
I had an idea on how to improve Homeland Security. Let's say we had an elite force of specially trained covert operatives, highly skilled in information analysis and surveillance. It's a smart thing to do.
Nope.
Oh, poop.
Poop? That's just rude.
Now be careful what you say around the queen bee, little princess bee. Don't make her so mad that she'll force you to make endless amounts of honey by drilling and draining like the queen bee in Plan B did. B.U.T. goes out to get some pollen to make honey and gets noticed by that princess bee. Oh, and then these human beekeepers show up. They're just a thing in the movie now. Yeah, deal with it. But no time for that. Let's see these three bees come together and plan how they can change things. By the way, why is this kitchen also a science lab with beakers and test tubes? Why?
My destiny, it's all up to me. I hear a voice inside of me. I know that it won't steer me wrong.
Oh man, I really wish the father car from Cars Life would show up and tell them to stop singing because it's not a musical. Blah, blah, blah. The beekeepers show up and apparently he was sent to get rid of their hive because their honey just isn't very good anymore. Well, gee, I wonder if this could possibly mean there's a bee that could make honey that is good enough for them. I wonder. So the soldier bees fly off to get rid of the humans. They fly into his suit and sting him, and then they die. That actually happens in the movie, too. I'm not just saying that to be hyperbolic. So the bees are now declaring war against the beekeepers, meaning Bernard will be sent out to fight the humans with the other bee soldiers. After BUT wishes him the best of luck, and Bernard thanks her for being a good friend, we see the beekeepers discussing things.
Did you get rid of the hive?
What are you, deaf? That's what I'm telling you. I couldn't get rid of the hive because I had a swarm of angry bees in my suit.
Grow up. A big guy like you can't handle a few little bees.
So the beekeepers prepare to kill the bees with bug spray and smoke, and the bees take off to fight back. Bernard gets hit with the gas and it seems like he's going to die, but then...
Bernard, wake up, please. Please, we're counting on you. Oh no, this can't be happening. After all this, we've come so close, but now the valve won't be opened and the hive will be lost.
Could you make that dialogue just a little bit more blatant and on the nose?
You're the best friend I've ever had. You're special. Don't give up on your dreams. You never know when they might come true. I hope they will.
I get these movies were originally made in Brazil and that this is dubbed, but still, just don't. The beekeepers notice Bernard's honey leaking from the hive, they try it, they like it, and they decide they're not going to take down the hive. Oh gee, who could have seen that coming? But despite saving the hive, this one soldier bee tells him that he still broke rank and will have to be put on trial. Yep, on trial. Ball and chain and everything. In front of a court, having to defend himself. In a children's movie. How is there 14 minutes left in this movie? The French chef bee from earlier admits that the honey that saved the hive was not his and was in fact Bernard's, and they let him free. And now Bernard is considered the coolest amongst all the other bees. Yay!
Do you think Bernard would let us into his cooking class? That guy is totally the coolest. I hate boys. Yeah, except of course Bernard. He's so cool.
But oh, do you want to see what they have to show the audience before the credits roll? You probably don't, and you're probably not going to like this, but this is how they end the movie.
Look at that! I think we're being watched. Yeah, you're right. Gosh, who is it? An enemy spy? If it is! Hey, what are you guys looking at? I see we have a visitor, but who are they? A drone? Or a worker bee? Possibly a princess? Maybe a soldier? It's hard to say exactly.
Incredible. Amazing, right? So that was A Cars Life and Little Bee. They're both not very good. Now, I've talked about plenty of rip-off movies from both these companies in the past. While I'm still not too familiar with Video Brinquedo, I definitely have a long history with Sparkplug Entertainment, and honestly, I'm kind of surprised that this was the film that they decided to turn into an entire series. I guess like how Video Brinquedo turned Little Cars into 8 movies, they decided to make endless amounts of sequels to A Cars Life, and granted, going by the cover art, it does look like they've improved a little bit, but I don't know. It feels like these movies get longer and longer and, well, I just don't feel like watching any of them. If anything, let's consider ourselves lucky we're talking about one of these Cars Life movies and just leaving it at that. As far as A Cars Life goes, it has a lot of the same problems that some of their other movies have. A lot of the voice actors are the same, the designs are very unsettling, the backgrounds are lazy, the music is incredibly unfitting with a lot of this free jazz stock music that they play all throughout, and a lot of the messages, while well-intentioned, just feel a little bit ham-fisted and on the nose. And speaking of which, that leads us to Little B, which has really on-the-nose and blatant dialogue. The characters aren't very interesting, all the voice acting sounds like it was done in one go, and despite the fact that it's still relatively short, only clocking in at 55 minutes, it still feels needlessly long and very repetitive. It really does feel like the movie should end after they get the beekeepers to go away, but that's not the end. There's still at least 14 minutes left after that. Well, like I said at the beginning, this is hopefully the end of the bad ripoff movies from Video Brinquedo and Sparkplug Entertainment. And considering I haven't talked about Dingo Pictures in a while, I think it's fair to say that we're slowly phasing out of the bad animated ripoff movie phase of this series. So maybe then we can finally go back to talking about real cinema, like Pure Flicks, or more VeggieTales and big idea content. But whatever movies we talk about next time on Captivating Christian, just remember, I am Chris T. Ian, and may Jesus be with you.
According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way that a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway, because bees don't care what humans think is impossible.